Right now at 5, the man accused of kidnapping a pregnant teenager appears in Wisconsin court. The details after he was caught in Nebraska.
One person is dead after a shooting in Madison. What we know as a teenager is in police custody.
And the state legislature investigates DEI program funding. We have the results of their audit. And we welcome you to News 3 Now at 5. I'm Sarah Carlson.
Sarah's filling in tonight for Eric Franke. Thank you for your help. Let's begin with the weather. Kind of a cloudy and cool Thursday out there today, and there's a chance for some severe storms tonight, and alert day conditions are possible tomorrow.
Meteorologist Jacob Montesano is out on the weather patio with what we can expect next, and pretty gloomy out there right now.
Yeah, not raining right here in Madison, but we already are starting to see some of those showers across parts of the region, but we're still not going to see much in the terms of severe weather until much later. Now, taking a look at that current radar, again, we've seen some light to moderate showers, especially south of Madison today, but even that rain looks to be clearing out. We aren't too cool out here, but the gusty winds have made it feel cooler than it actually is. So yesterday at this time, it was roughly in the middle 50s with sunny skies and calm winds, and it felt much warmer yesterday than it does right now with the cloudy skies and wind today, even though we are in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Now, if you take a look at the evening forecast, still only going to see some light showers for the next couple of hours, but we are going to remain cloudy with temperatures kind of right around 60, even well after sunset. They're going to remain pretty steady. But as we take a look at the rainfall forecast, although we may see some light showers before sunset, it's really after sunset and closer to midnight when we start to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms move through the area. First round will be off to the north, then we'll see more consistent rain south of Madison closer to morning, and then another round off to the north. So overall, we'll see several on and off showers and storms during the overnight hours. But the alert day is for tomorrow afternoon, where we're expecting even stronger storms, but mainly for areas east and southeast of Madison. So I'll talk through the forecast on this coming up a bit later, but we're still going to see rain for other places tomorrow. Just the severe weather is mainly going to be east. I'll have the details later, though.
Yeah, we can hear that wind out there today. Jacob, thank you. Now to Dodge County. The man accused of kidnapping a pregnant teenage girl from Beaver Dam is making his first court appearance in Wisconsin.
40-year-old Gary Day is now facing a $2 million bond after being caught with 17-year-old Sophia Franklin in Nebraska. Our Tanisha Shaw has more.
40-year-old Gary Day and then 16-year-old Sophia Franklin met online in 2024, according to a criminal complaint. Franklin is now 17 years old and told the Beaver Dam Police Department that she spent weeks with Day at his home in Arkansas during the summer of 2024.
Court finds that defendant presents an extreme flight risk and an extreme risk to this victim and other potential victims.
Months later, in February 2025, Day would travel to Sophia's home in Beaver Dam and leave with her. They would travel through several states by driving or hitchhiking, going as far as Texas.
Finds that substantial cash bail is necessary to ensure future appearances and to protect the public. The court will order $2 million cash bail.
Day is facing several charges here in Wisconsin: 2 counts of child enticement and abduction of a child.
Orders no contact with the victim, her family, or her residence. The court will also order no contact under 940.74 while he's in custody. Rather than limiting other contact to immediate family, I'm going to include another order that he have no contact with minors.
Also in this criminal complaint, Sophia Franklin says she's engaged and pregnant with Gary Day's child. Gary Day said he's never had any sexual intercourse with Sophia Franklin. Reporting in Juneau, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanisha, thank you. Day's next court appearance is next week on Wednesday. Well, 2 people are dead and 5 others injured after a mass shooting at Florida State University today. And the suspect in custody is the son of a Florida sheriff's deputy. An active shooter alert was sent out and instructed people to stay away from all doors and windows, as many students sheltered in place in classrooms.
We got the desks and started piling them up against the door. We tried to get the bigger desk, the main desk, the presenter's podium, against the door.
All classes and events are canceled at Florida State for the remainder of the day. Tallahassee police say multiple law enforcement agencies remain on the scene for the ongoing investigation.
Graduate students at UW-Madison are speaking out against President Trump's actions. The TAA, the labor union representing graduate student workers like TAs and RAs, held a rally on Library Mall with other workers' unions on campus and community members. They are demanding the university administration continue UW-PD's policy of not providing information or cooperating with ICE. Organizers say it's more important now than ever to take a stronger stance against the Trump administration's actions for international students who are feeling targeted.
That means providing legal support and immigration support to people who are targeted and support for contesting visa revocations. And if worst comes to worst and people are not able to stay in this country and keep working, that means helping students continue their studies and continue on their academic track, even abroad. When we talk to international students at department meetings, at TAA-wide meetings, people are very afraid.
Representative Francesca Hong and others spoke at the event. The group is also pushing for the university to take a stronger stance against the Trump administration's actions toward higher education across the country. They are demanding UW-Madison administration regularly meet and discuss their response with student workers and join a mutual defense compact with other Big Ten schools.
And universities here in Wisconsin were the subject of a lengthy audit, the results of which were released last week.
Republican lawmakers will now debate the results of that audit. Political reporter Will Keneally has more on what the next steps they might take.
Yeah, the audit looked into how much state agencies like the universities of Wisconsin spent on these DEI efforts. Now, we sat down with the co-chair of the audit committee that ordered that investigation for more on what this uncovered.
I think my goal would be to just maintain a policy of non-discrimination.
That reaction from one of the lawmakers who ordered the audit into DEI efforts across state agencies. He says non-discrimination and DEI are not the same thing.
Not stereotype people and then say, well, we got to fix this for this group and fix this for that group, and kind of keeping score among people with particular immutable characteristics.
The audit focuses on DEI efforts in two ways: the policy itself and the amount of money spent on those efforts. The audit found there's no widespread standard for what DEI looks like, for example, across UW campuses. But the amount of spending on diversity, equity, and inclusion by the state government, that could be pared down in the state budget.
Going forward, we are in a budget year, so I think it's a good time to then require the departments that are doing these things to actually come with solid numbers and plans and things, and have them come to a quantifiable position that we can deal with and negotiate.
Now, that committee will meet next week to debate what to do with the results of that audit going forward. Reporting from the state capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
And you can see more with our interview with Senator Wimberger there this Sunday at 10:30 on For the Record. Well, incredibly sad. That's what Madison police are calling an accidental shooting that resulted in the death of a Madison man last night.
Arman Rahman has more on where law enforcement is in their investigation.
Madison police officers say there were sad circumstances all around the shooting death of a teenage victim and the arrest of a 17-year-old. Officers found one person shot and on the ground in a parking lot in the 1200 block of Fish Hatchery Road near the SSM Health Clinics. Lieutenant Matt Nordquist says it appeared to be an accidental shooting between friends. Police arrested a 17-year-old boy who's facing charges of homicide by negligent handling of a weapon. The victim was taken to a hospital where they later died.
This was a case of people who shouldn't have been in possession of a firearm, who clearly did not understand safe weapons handling skills, and it ended in tragedy.
Lieutenant Nordquist reminds gun owners to keep your firearms safely stored and locked away and store ammunition separately. He says they're still investigating whether the 17-year-old owned the gun or got it from someone else. Police have not yet released the name and age of the victim. Reporting in Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Armand. Anyone with more information or surveillance camera video is encouraged to contact the Madison Police Department.
A new kind of substance abuse program at UW has finished its first year in operation. UW Health's Compass program is a first-come, first-served location that offers life-saving medications and clinical services for those with a substance disorder. It was initially open 2 days a week, but is now open for a third. Also, a new staff member has been hired and another has been moved to meet demands on Tuesdays. The grant, however, that funds the facility will come to an end in the fall.
So one of the things we're really focusing on is looking for alternative funding sources, because we want to make sure that any patient, regardless of ability to pay, is able to get these life-saving treatments.
Now, since mid-March, 128 patients have been in the program. 31 have had their care paid for by that grant.
Next week's NFL draft will have a rocking conclusion. Country star Brad Paisley will wrap up draft weekend with a free concert on Saturday, April 26th, after the 7th round wraps up. It's part of the NFL Draft Concert Series, which will also include a drone show on the 25th after rounds 2 and 3 of the draft. The performance will be held at the Draft Theater right next to Lambeau Field. Standing room is on a first-come, first-served basis. And don't forget, News 3 Now will be talking about the NFL draft in Wisconsin all this weekend next. In addition to Jason, Eric Franke will be joining sports director Zach Hanley and Andrew Banstra for our coverage. They'll have the sights, sounds, and strategy leading up to next week's first round picks. And still to come tonight at 5, over 1 million people are without power in Puerto Rico.
And President Trump and the Federal Reserve lock horns, the disagreement they have over cutting interest rates. We'll be right back. And on Wall Street today, the Dow drops 527 points, the Nasdaq loses 20, and the S&P 500 is up 7.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
President Trump says he is eager to see Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell go.
The president wants interest rates cut, but Powell is not budging. Powell is warning that U.S. tariffs are likely to drive up prices and the unemployment rate while slowing economic growth, a combination of factors known as stagflation. Powell insists he has no plans to leave before the end of his term.
Never going to be influenced by any political pressure. People can say whatever they want, that's fine. That's not a problem. But we will do what we do strictly without consideration of political or any other extraneous factors.
President Trump does not have the legal authority to fire the Federal Reserve Chairman, except if there is legal cause to do so, such as criminal activity. Powell's term expires in May of next year.
Google was dealt another major blow in court today. A federal judge in Virginia ruled Google violated antitrust law and illegally built monopoly power with its web and advertising business. The Justice Department and 17 states sued over this issue. The ruling could force Google to divest part of its online ad businesses, but the company is likely to appeal.
The lights are slowly coming back across Puerto Rico tonight following another massive blackout. Officials say nearly 1.5 million customers on the island lost power yesterday. The island-wide blackout led to gridlock on the roadways when traffic lights began shutting off and even a train evacuation. It's not yet clear what caused the grid-wide shutdown, although a preliminary review points to a combination of factors, including vegetation growing on a transmission line. Well, now let's switch gears and check on our weather. There's a little rain on the radar, not here in Madison, but there's a chance for some severe weather tonight.
Meteorologist Jacob Montesano is here with the full forecast.
Yeah, the alert day is actually for tomorrow, but we will see that severe weather tonight as well. So we're going to see kind of 2 rounds of the potential severe weather, but the alert day for Friday afternoon is mainly for areas east and southeast of Madison. Most likely hazards will be large hail and strong winds. So looking at the severe weather outlook tonight, it's for Madison and areas to the west with the marginal risk. Now, we will see the potential for severe weather. We don't have the alert day included tonight, but tomorrow you can see that slight risk for Port portions of Rock, or really all of Rock and Jefferson County, portions of Dodge and Dane County as well, with a marginal risk just to the west of that. So we could see even stronger storms for Friday afternoon. Now here's a look at the rainfall forecast. For the next few hours, we'll see some isolated showers and storms, but we're not going to see consistent rain move in until a little bit later, closer to the midnight hour, where we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms move through the area. And then as we get later in the night, we'll continue to see these scattered showers and thunderstorms. First round will be north of Madison, then south of Madison, then overall north of Madison and as well. But we're still going to be seeing rain for pretty much everybody at some point. Now, once we get to the daylight hours Friday, we'll still see some of those showers and storms, but later in the morning will dry up briefly, and then the alert day does begin in the afternoon. And pay attention to this area over here to the southeast of Madison, because these are where some of these strong storms could form again in the afternoon and in the evening as well, potentially even stronger in the evening, with some very heavy rain possible in the southeastern portion of Wisconsin. These storms could definitely creep up further north and west than what is showing up on radar. So definitely stay tuned to News 3 Now during this time frame. Again, middle afternoon through the evening. If you're in Janesville, even further up north towards Watertown, that's where the best chance of the severe weather will occur. Now, once we get later into the night, that will clear out, and then we'll be dry by Saturday. So looking at the most likely hazards, again, strong winds and large hail are the most likely. Still could see an isolated tornado, although it is very unlikely at this time. Looking a bit forward in the forecast, Saturday will be dry, but looking at Easter Sunday, we are expecting rainfall in the afternoon. It looks like it may hold off until the afternoon with some dry conditions during the morning. But if you have any outdoor plans in the afternoon and evening, it is likely going to be a washout during that time frame with consistent shower activity. Not expecting a lot of thunderstorms, and we're certainly not expecting severe weather for this time frame, but we are expecting quite a bit of rainfall until we get to Monday morning, where we'll see some light rain, and then that will clear out by Monday afternoon. Temperatures will also be on the cooler side. Highs will only be in the lower 50s, and it also will be a little bit windy both days. Now, after Monday, temperatures are going to improve with 60s in the forecast for much of next week. And NFL Draft Thursday looks very, very nice, and we're not going to see much rain in Green Bay either, so that day looks very good. And overall, 60s will continue even at the end of the 10-day forecast.
That's good timing. Jacob, thank you. And after the break, artificial intelligence is helping find lost pets, the new program connecting owners to animal shelters around the nation.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Well, if you have a pet, then you probably know how terrifying it is when they run off and get lost. But now, new AI-based technology is helping bring many pets home.
National consumer correspondent Usher Karashi reports.
She's just a year old, but Pitbull mix Millie has been through some things.
So I had left her with a friend who was going to dog sit for her for the weekend.
The same day, Michael Bone got word that Millie had slipped out of her collar during a walk in Lower Manhattan and bolted.
What was that like for you emotionally?
Because she's a rescue dog, she's just very anxious. The only thing I was thinking was like she's trying to find me and like she doesn't know where I am.
As Bone rushed home to search, his mom uploaded a photo of Millie to Love Lost, a national lost and found database run by the nonprofit Petco Love. Within 14 hours, a call came. Millie had run 10 miles to Harlem, was hit by a car, and taken 15 miles further to a New Jersey hospital.
How does this little dog end up in Paramus, New Jersey?
The pet hospital had also uploaded Millie's picture to the same free site, which is run by donations. Here's how it works. Once photos are in the system, the pet photo matching technology identifies the pet's unique features. Everything from eye shape, whisker length, and unusual markings to even the curve of the tail. It collects as many as 512 data points, using artificial intelligence machine learning, searching for the closest matches. Since the AI analyzes anatomy, it can still recognize a pet even when its appearance changes dramatically after getting lost.
In the sheltering system, it's about 20% of lost pets will be reunited, which is simply not enough.
Suzanne Kogut runs the nonprofit. She says the site also pulls lost pet reports from social media posts to increase the odds of a match.
People used to put flyers on a telephone pole. Now we have that one virtual telephone pole in the system. Everyone put the flyers up there, and we're going to send these pets home.
Kogut says more than 3,000 animal shelters nationwide now participate in the program, which started in 2021.
What's your dog's name?
Millie.
Wait, my dog's name is Millie.
Oh, really?
2 months after her ordeal and recovering from a broken leg, Millie is back on the street.
She likes to say hi to every single dog that we see on the walk, regardless of if they want to say hi to her, but she's doing really well.
There's always a concern that scammers could take advantage of people who've lost their animals. The nonprofit says if you use the site, beware of anyone who asks for money to return your pet, and limit your communications to the site's secure platform. Asha Qureshi, CBS News.
All right, we'll have a final check of the weather when we return.
Coming up tonight at 6, drama at a Wisconsin Elections Commission meeting, the verbal spat between members over uncounted ballots in the state. Our Ellie La Liberté will have that at 6.
And finally tonight, the story that will make me gag. Miller Lite and Pringles are coming together to create 2 flavors they say will be the snack of the summer. There will be no need for a grill when you open a can of either beer canned chicken or grilled beer brat flavored chips.
What is wrong with you? It sounds fabulous. The companies say the beer can chicken flavor combines roasted chicken with garlic and onion with the original light beer. And while grilled beer brats have that smoky brat flavor with black pepper, caramelized onion, and brown spice, they mix that with the original light beer. Doesn't sound delicious, Sarah? Fans can get their hands on these chips nationwide starting in May. What do you think, Jacob?
Well, I will say, like, the beer-flavored Pringles are better than Pringle-flavored beer.
Yeah,
so I think
there you go.
that's the better of 2 worlds. At first, I thought it was the Pringle-flavored beer. Like, that definitely is weird. But
yeah, no,
this still seems like a little too much, though.
Yeah. All right. So final check on the forecast. I can't think about these.
Yeah, we're going to see the possible severe weather tonight, but some stronger storms tomorrow. The alert day mostly for areas east and southeast of Madison, but everyone could still see rain. Just the strongest storms will be for those locations. Dry Saturday, rain by Easter afternoon. Could be dry for Easter morning, but afternoon, evening, it'll be a washout, unfortunately.
All right. Thanks, Jacob.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you at 6 o'clock. And there's our producer, Amy.
Happy birthday,